The sports world today has lost an absolute legend. Um, the great Mr. Bobby Knight, in all his glory, passed away. We'll get into everything in just a moment here. He was iconic. He passed away at 83 years of age. We'll get into the how, the why, and the statement from Indiana University. But it's always sad to see a legend go. And let's pay homage to the legend with one of the most iconic sets from Bobby Knight.
Fred Jasper's now chasing Bobby Knight back to his chair.
And
he's got him right there. There's the tee.
Technical against the bench and against Bob Knight. Steve Reed, an excellent free throw shooter, will have the honors shooting the technicals.
Look at here. Bobby Knight just threw his chair clear across the free throw lane.
And I think Fred
Unbelievable. He picked up another tee. Now Fred Jaspers is called for athletic director Ralph Floyd.
Fred Jaspers talking to Mr. Floyd down in the corner.
Now we got Ralph Floyd out on the floor.
It's 11-6. We're just 5 minutes into the contest, and this has erupted.
There's a good chance Bobby Knight's been ejected from this basketball game.
Fred Jaspers explaining it to the scorer's table. Now Gene Cady, the Purdue coach, comes over just to stay in contact with what decisions have been made.
Uh-oh, we got three.
Now we got
gone.
three.
He's gone.
And Bob Knight is gone.
Well, he came dressed to play golf. Maybe he'll do it.
Yeah, we talked earlier about the fact that he has golfing attire on. Understand that they have a very nice golf course here in Bloomington, a university course.
Well, I'll tell you, that just kind of demonstrates the kind of year it's been over here, and total frustration, but there's really no excuse for losing your poise to the point of throwing a chair across the basketball floor. Officials took care of it in a series of technicals, and we've had 3 called, so there's going to be some free throw shooting practice here.
So, absolute legend, and the chair throw, I mean, it's iconic in sport, and I'm no fan of Indiana University, being from a fellow Big Ten school, but this man, he just meant so much more than just some other coach. Imagine this happened today, how far they'd punish him. Yeah, he'd probably never coach again instead of being one of the best coaches to ever coach college basketball. He was just an absolute legend. Sort of at IUHoosiers.com, Bob Knight, one of the most successful and influential figures in college basketball history, passed away on November 1st, 2023, surrounded by his family and friends. He was 83 years old. Bob Knight's coaching accomplishments are legendary. He went 902 and 371 during a 42-year head coaching career that included stops at Army. 42 years. From 66 to 71. IU from 1972 to 2000. And Texas Tech from 2002 to 2008. Those 902 wins ranked number 1 all time when he retired in 2008, and he currently ranks 6th. He was a 4-time National Coach of the Year, a 5-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, and was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 1991, the College Basketball Hall of Fame in 2006, and the IU Athletics Hall of Fame in 2009. I enjoyed tremendous success at each of his 3 head coaching stops. He became a larger-than-life figure in the sport thanks to his accomplishments in Bloomington. Hired by IU at the age of 30 in 1971, he led the program to 3 NCAA titles. Those are national championships. 1976, 1981, and 1987. 5 Final Fours, 1973, 1976, 1981, 87, and 92. And 11 Big Ten regular season championships, 73 to 76, 80 to 81, 83, 87, 89, 91, and 93. I was among many people that was happy that he finally left Indiana. Because honestly, we probably didn't win our national championship in 01 in East Lansing if Knight was still at IU. In his 29 years as head coach, Knight's 1976 team went 32-0. Perfect season, undefeated on its way to the NCAA title. Remains the most recent to go undefeated on its way to the NCAA title. His 75 and 76 teams, meanwhile, each went undefeated 18-0 in Big Ten play, and no Big Ten team has gone undefeated in a single season in league play since. Indiana's 37 consecutive Big Ten wins during that period also established a new conference standard that has never been seriously threatened. And it hasn't. He's just an icon. He's so much above anybody else. Knight's dominance at IU stretched to 3 decades that he coached in Bloomington. The 1970s included 4 Big Ten titles, 2 Final Fours, and one of the greatest teams in college basketball history with the undefeated 1976 national champions. As great as the 1970s were, the 1980s were better. College basketball's most successful team during the decade, Knight's teams captured 2 NCAA titles and 5 Big Ten championships. In the 1990s, the Hoosiers won 2 more league crowns, advanced to the Final Four, earned 10 NCAA tourney bids, and 4 straight Sweet 16 trips. The 1990s also featured one of Knight's greatest teams to not win the NCAA title, as the 93 team went 17-1 in the Big Ten and was the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. It featured 4 players that would eventually be all first-round NBA draft picks. In addition to his accomplishments representing IU, Knight enjoyed similar success on an international level. He assembled and coached arguably the greatest amateur men's basketball team in history as he led the 1984 U.S. Olympic gold medal in Los Angeles and guided the U.S. team to the 1979 Pan American Games gold as well. While his teams excelled on the court, Knight's student athletes also embodied what it meant to be a student athlete. During his IU coaching career, 98% of his 4-year players earned their degree. Back when you had to actually do it. They didn't just give it to you. Besides being one of the sport's most successful coaches, Knight was also the most innovative. He revolutionized and popularized the motion offense, an offensive style originally credited to one of the Knight's mentors, Henry Iba. Unlike the traditional set offensive plays, the motion offense relied on player movement, proper spacing, passing, cutting, and screening to create opportunities. It's a style of play that became synonymous with Knight and his IU teams, and it remains very much a staple of many of the game's most successful coaches to this day. Defensively, Knight was equally committed to his single style, as he had deeply rooted belief in the merits of man-to-man defense. The successes of both styles were enormous through his IU tenure, as Hoosier teams were traditionally one of the Big Ten's most efficient offensively and one of the most difficult to score against defensively. As a result, Indiana won 73.5% of its games during Knight's tenure. That's impressive. Damn. The best among all Big Ten programs during that period. IU also earned 24 invitations to the NCAA tournament during its 29 years, going 42-21, .667 in those games. Overall, 28 of Knight's 29 IU teams earned postseason invitations. While Knight's system and his unwavering belief in the coaching philosophies were a big part of his success at IU, an even more important component of his success was the abundance of exceptional student athletes that he attracted to develop in Bloomington. In all, Knight coached 9 Big Ten MVPs, 27 All-Americans at IU. His first Big Ten MVP was Steve Downing, who had earned the honor in 1973 after leading Knight's second Hoosier team to the program's first Big Ten title in 6 years, and its first Final Four in 20 seasons. The next to win the award went to Scott May, the Big Ten's MVP in 75 and 76, who became Knight's first National Player of the Year in 1976. Calvert Cheney became Knight's second National Player of the Year in 1993 after guiding IU to a Big Ten title, an Elite Eight, and becoming the Big Ten's all-time leading scorer with 2,613 points, a mark that stands to this day. I won't read about the rest of his players, but Knight was born on October 25th, 1940 in Orrville, Ohio, a multi-sport standout in Orrville High School. Knight played basketball at Ohio State for the Hall of Fame coach Fred Taylor from 1958 to 1962. A key reserve on those Buckeyes teams, Knight played alongside future Hall of Famers John Havlick, Jerry Lucas, and helped OSU to the 1960 NCAA title and NCAA runner-up finishes both 61 and 62. After graduating from Ohio State in 62, Knight spent 1 year coaching high school basketball at Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, before enlisting in the Army in 1963. While in the Army, Knight accepted an assistant coaching position with the men's basketball team and 2 years later was promoted to the head coach at the age of 24. He went 102-50 in 6 years with the program and earned 4 NIT invitations before IU athletic director Bill Orwig announced his hiring as IU's new head coach, March 27, 1971. Again, just an impressive man that transcended sport. I think there's a lot of people that know Bob outside of sports, but yeah, this is a sad one. I normally don't get like super attached to like celebs and all that, but I mean, anyone passing sucks, and Bob Knight was one hell of an icon. So, with that being said, just programming note, I'm gonna play this video to end us off on motivation from a speech he gave in 1987 about being motivated. I'm gonna take some time because as I was prepping the normal show, I saw this come up. This just broke not too long ago, and I certainly wanted to address it as quickly as possible. So, I'm gonna move the normal show back to 9 o'clock. So we're gonna move it back 30 minutes. But there still will be a normal show. So, I'm just gonna end off with this. Thank you, as always, for watching. Please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe on your way out. The world lost a legend in Bobby Knight at 83 years of age.
You can talk about all the motivational speeches and phrases and devices in the world, but the greatest motivator of all is your ass on the bench. There is no better motivator. Ass meets bench. Bench retains ass. Ass transmits signal to brain. Brain transmits signal to body. Body gets ass off bench and plays better. I mean, it's a hell of a sequence of things that takes place. Well, it might be for you guys.